trouble with a good attitude. Mahirap po ba yun o madali? Ano po?
Mahirap.
Mahirap. Paano ka magiging... How can you have a good attitude when you are struggling? Hindi po ba? When we go through trials, wala po tayong choice. Most of the time, yung pong pagdadaanan nating struggle, talagang mangyayari yun kahit hindi natin gusto. Kasi nga po, hindi natin kayang kontrolin ang lahat ng bagay. But, we can control how we choose to deal with adversities. We can choose to deal with things in a good attitude. We can choose kung paano yung magiging pag-uugali natin, behavior natin, sasabihin natin, yung pagkatao natin, yung character natin as we endure trials. Ano bang gagawin natin? Are we gonna solve? Are we gonna suffer in self-pity? Maglulungkot-lungkutan ba tayo? I-embrace ba natin yung idea na malungkot tayo, na may pinagdadaanan tayo? You know, one of the things that I remember when I became a widow was that every time I would go out, yung mga tao parang awang-awa sa akin. Yung mga hindi ko po kilala, lalakad ako sa mall. Lalakad ako sa mall, syempre papasol ko si Nathan. Tapos may mag-a-approach na sa akin, hindi ko po ito kilala. Tapos bigla na lang akong aakapin. Kaya mo yan, kaya mo. And you know, nung una syempre medyo weird, but I found comfort in that. Because these people, I may not know them, but they know me. So when they see me, maybe they are compelled to comfort me. And also maybe God was sending them to me to show me that, hey, I love you, I see your pain. So even in people I do not know, God was using them to show me that He cares for me, that He sees me even in my trouble. Sabi po ng Isaiah chapter 40 verse 31, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. Can we say renew?
Renew.
Renew. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Diba? Ang sarap pong pakinggan na kapag tayo umasa sa kabutihan ng Diyos, kaya na tayong itaas. Kaya na tayong bigyan ng panibagong puso, ng panibagong buhay, ng panibagong saya. And these are the things that really gave me comfort at that time. Hindi daw tayo manghihina. It says here, they will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Wala tayong hindi kakayanin. Lalo na kapag nakadikit tayo sa pagmamahal ng Diyos. Next is, don't harbor unforgiveness. You know, ang dami ko pong kilala na hanggang ngayon, ang lalim po ng galit nila sa mga taong nakasakit sa kanila. You know, there is one person who is very close to me, and whenever I mention this specific name to her, yung galit niya, parang kahapon lang nangyari yung ginawa sa kanya. Pero alam niyo po gano'ng katagal na pala? 20 years ago na. Pero pag inungkat mo, yung galit niya, parang kala mo, fresh na fresh. Diba? And you see, it's unforgiveness. When you have unforgiveness in your heart becomes bitter. Your heart becomes hard. Lahat ng laman ng nasa puso mo, negative. Wala kang masasabing maganda. Kapag ang puso mo punong-punong na unforgiveness. At ito po yung pinakamasaklam doon. Yung taong hindi mo pinapatawad, wala siyang kamalay-malay na may puot ka pa sa heart towards that person. Ikaw, na may unforgiveness sa heart mo, kapag gabi, hindi ka makatulog pag naiisip mo. Samantalang siya, fresh na fresh. Kasi kung wala siyang kamalay-malay na iniisip niyo siya gabi-gabi. Tayo may eye bags, nakasimangot, stress na stress, tatawag sa kaibigan natin, ay naku talaga naman naalala ko si ganyan, grabe, hindi ko makakalimutan yung ginawa niya sa akin. Hindi ko siya mapapatawad. Hanggang sa mapunta ko sa bukay, hindi ko siya mapapatawad. Gusto po natin yung mga linyang pang-pelikula na ganyan, hindi po ba? But it's unforgiveness. You know, and tayo po yung nakukulong ng unforgiveness. We are not causing harm to that person. That person is free to live his or her life to the fullest. Pero tayo na nag-harbor ng unforgiveness, tayo po yung kinakain ng hindi pagpapatawad na yun. Because in Job, chapter 42, verse 10, the Lord restored the fortunes of Job when he prayed for his friends. And the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. You know, most of us are probably aware of Job's story. Doon po sa mga hindi pa a brief background, si Job po ay talagang sinubukan. Yung kwento niya, maganda po ang buhay niya, maganda ang family life niya, mayaman siya, everything that a man needs on earth, meron po si Job. Nag-usap si Satan tsaka si Lord. Sabi niya, itong anak mo na ito masyado itong faithful sa'yo, susubukan ko yan. And the Lord allowed that to happen because He knew that Job was faithful to Him. And nung time na yan, yung mga kaibigan po ni Job, pinagsasalitaan siya ng mga hindi magaganda. So sumama po talaga ang loob ni Job. Pero sabi dito sa verse nito, the Lord restored, restored the fortunes of Job when he prayed. Pinagdasal po na yung mga taong nakasakit sa kanya. And that was the only time when God restored everything that Job lost because he forgave. Nagpatawad siya. At yung mga taong yun po, hindi humingi ng sorry sa kanya. It was a forgiveness that he gave to his friends. And you know, God sees Job's heart. And when he saw na si Job, tong anak kong to, nagpapatawad kahit hindi humihingi ng tawad. And because he knew that Job's heart was so good, He blessed Job with everything that he lost. Ibinalik po niya lahat ng mga nawala sa kanya. And I feel ganun din tayong lahat. That if we give that unforgiveness to God, it's always an exchange. We give our hurt and in exchange, He gives us His blessings. And one of those blessings is the freedom of living a life filled with joy. Because we are free from unforgiveness. Next, sabi po, keep strife out of your life. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng strife? Strife is conflict, friction, discord, disagreement, dissension, quarreling, bickering, harboring, resentment. Karamihan po ng strife, hindi ito kailangan laging nag-aaway tsaka nagbubulyawan. Minsan, yung masama lang yung loob mo dito sa isang tao doon. Yung hindi ka naman kinakausap, pero yung presence niya parang naiinis ka tsaka na-challenge ka. Even in our homes. Even in our families. Yung, makikita mo yung, huwag na natin pangalanan baka may ano dito. Whoever, a family member maybe. And yung family member mo na yun, challenging yun. So whenever you see that person, bumibigat yung heart mo. Strife po yun. Kasi meron kang unforgiveness, meron kang resentment sa puso mo. And when we allow negative thinking to fill our minds, it will eventually become a deadly virus in our hearts. You know, minsan po, kapag daw nag-harbor tayo ng strife or unforgiveness or resentment in our hearts, it blocks the blessings of God. Because God's blessings cannot be present kung meron ding negativity sa puso mo. It's either or. It's either negative o positive. Hindi po pwedeng parang nandun. Hindi pwedeng meron kang resentment towards someone pero ina-expect mo na i-bless ka ni Lord. Hindi po ganun. Kailangan i-release muna natin, ibigay muna natin kay Lord lahat ng mga sakit sa puso natin and then we are making room for His blessings to fill our hearts. That's how God's kingdom works. Because in James chapter 3 verses 16 and 18, for wherever there is jealousy and selfish ambition, there you will find disorder and evil of every kind. All those who are peacemakers will plant seeds of peace and reap a harvest of righteousness. Hindi po pwedeng mag-exist ang negativity, ang mga sakit, ang mga galit sa puso natin, ang mga bitterness in our hearts, and expect God's blessings to be upon us. They cannot coexist. It's very clear here. Lahat po yan. Disorder and evil of every kind. Kahit anong pa po yan, there is no peace. So I feel like that's a very good reminder for all of us. Another thing is, don't stay angry. May mga tao po, most of them are those who harbor unforgiveness, they're always angry. They always find a reason to be angry. Maliit na bagay lang, konting traffic, inis na. And you know, I feel like these are the people who complain a lot. May mga kilala po ba kayo ganun? Yung lahat na lang nire-reklamo. Ano ba naman yan? Bakit malamig yung tubig? Pag naman uminit, ano ba naman yan? Bakit sobrang init? Yung hindi na po kung saan nilalagay yung sarili. Kasi lahat na lang nire-reklamo. And those people also have nothing to be grateful for. Siguro, kaya sila sobrang nagko-complain because their hearts have become so hard that they no longer find a reason to be happy or to be thankful for. So in Proverbs 29, verse 22, a man of wrath stirs up strife, and one given to anger causes much transgression. Wala pong nagdudulot na mabuti ang galit. Kapag pong nagalit ka sa isang tao o pumatol ka sa isang tao, hindi po magiging peace ang solusyon. Wala pa po akong nakilala na nag-away, na naging maayos ang kinahinatnan ng kanilang sitwasyon. It's always when someone attacks and someone chooses to forgive at magpaubaya at hindi pumatol, dun lang po nahihinto ang away. Kahit po sa buhay mag-asawa, subukan niyo po na kung kunwari, your husband is probably challenging you into an argument. Kapag hindi po kayo sumagot, at hindi kayo nag-retaliate o hindi kayo sumagot ng papala, hindi kayo pumatol dun sa gusto niyang intensyon, sa tingin niyo po ba may aawayin pa siya? Wala. Mahirap pong makipag-away mag-isa. Mahirap pong makipag-away nang walang kaaway. Hindi po ba? So that's also a strength we all have. Only if we are filled by God's grace. It's not easy to do, of course, but diba? Mahirap pong makipag-away sa taong hindi nagpa-participate sa away. And lastly, find something to be thankful for. You know, during those times when I was going through those challenges, araw-araw iniisip ko po, Lord, salamat kasi may trabaho ako. Lord, salamat kasi healthy yung anak ko. Kapag nag-enroll ko siya sa school, kahit ano po, quarterly yung bayad ng payment, Lord, salamat na irapos ko yung first quarter. Idadasal ko naman yung susunod ng payment hanggang sa natapos yung buong taon, Lord, salamat nakarapos kami ng isang taon. You know, walking with the Lord is a day-to-day basis. It's not just every Sunday when we go to church, when we are walking with the Lord. It is a daily life. It is a lifestyle. Walking with Jesus is a part of our life. Hindi po yung pagtuwing maaalala lang natin. Tapos, hindi na nga natin naaalala kapag may nangyayari pang hindi maganda sa buhay natin, sinisisi pa natin siya. You know, when things are good in life, when things are thriving, when things are going well, yes, I'm so good, ang galing ko, ako to. Pero pag may problema ng dumaan, oh Lord, ba't mo naman ginawa to sa akin? Biglang sisisihin natin si Lord. Pero pag okay yung buhay mo, hindi mo naaalala si Lord. Pero pag masama na yung nangyari sa buhay mo, biglang maninisi ka pa. You know, one of those times na nagkakaroon po ko ng quiet time, I would think of that, parang, it's so unfair for him na maaalala lang natin siya kapag may problema na. And most of the time, we only run to him kasi wala na po tayong ibang tatakbuhan. Kasi nagawa na natin lahat ng kaya natin, tas last resort na natin siya. I'm sure narinig nyo na to, sige na nga, magdadasal na ako, wala na akong ibang magagawa nagawa ko na lahat. Last resort. He is the last person we think of whenever we go through challenges. So dapat daw, we have to have a grateful heart. God blesses a grateful heart no matter what our circumstances are. God sees our attitude and how we respond to challenges. And this is also a determining factor of how deep your walk is with the Lord. When we grow deeper in faith, we gain wisdom on how the world works. We are able to see from God's point of view as we hold on to His promises. Nakikita natin ngayon, we now have biblical lenses. Lord, sa dinadaanan kong problemang to, anong tinuturo mo sa akin? When I go through trials, when I go through challenges, ang una kong tinatanong, Lord, what is it that you are teaching me at this season of my life? Ano po bang gusto niyong baguhin sa sarili ko? Ano po bang gusto niyong baguhin sa puso ko? This is not easy. This is very hard, but I know you are walking with me, and I am still grateful kasi kahit na may pinagdadaanan ko, alam ko marami pa dyan ang may mas mahirap ang pinagdadaanan kesa sa akin. Marami pa rin akong ipagpapasalamat sa buhay ko kahit na dumadaan ako sa problema. So in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verses 16 to 18, rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances. Can we say in all circumstances?
In all circumstances.
It means whether it's good or whether it's bad, we still have to thank Him for it. It is not easy. But because if we know, kung alam lang natin na may purpose si Lord sa lahat ng pagdadaanan natin, na sa paghihirap na to, may maganda, there is wonderful joy ahead. If we are truly to expect that and believe in our hearts that God causes all these things to happen kasi may purpose siya, then we will be filled with joy and we will still thank Him despite our circumstances. So sabi nga po ni Joyce Meyer, everybody has trouble, and when you think you got it bad, somebody else has it worse than you. Kung makakarinig lang po kayo ng mga kwento ng mga tao na dumaan sa matinding dagok sa buhay, marirealize nyo, bale wala pala yung pinagdadaanan ko. Marami pa rin pa pala akong dapat ipagpasalamat. So you know, in James chapter 1 verse 12, it says, God blesses those who patiently endure testing and temptation, because afterward they will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love Him. And as I read this verse, Lord, gusto ko nun. Gusto ko yung crown of life na pinapangako mo sa amin. I want to be able to receive that. I want to experience that in my life even as I go through hard times. And I will patiently endure this because I know that you are with me. To have hope that is tied to the Lord in the midst of a hard situation is the best thing that you can do for yourself. Embrace it, endure it, and allow God to slowly heal you from it. Thank you po.